NZT here, and of course, never say never starting on that CT side.
Well, hopefully we see that good level of performance that pressure does bring, as they say, right? You know, diamonds are made under pressure. We'll have to wait and see if that replicates today. Over towards the B side is looking like NZT are posturing, and mid control already in favor of never say never.
I don't know about this one. They've already committed their resources towards B. Smoke going to be dropped in as well. I did think that this was going to be a util lacking execution. They do decide to go for it. A-Cop coming in. G7H going to find a bit of chip damage, but he takes a fair bit himself. Asex to set the bomb down. No problems for them. However, a big opener there. God going to pick up the first, and well, that 5-on-4 retake going to be going in favor of NZT until never say never. They've just pulled out 3 quick headshots out of absolutely nowhere. Zingy good for 1, but he's going to need another 2 with that P250, and without Kevlar, this becomes even harder. Smoke on top of the bomb. Miami's got a kill. This is a 5-second stick. Ruben's got the kill anyway, and it is a great time to be alive here for never say never. An impeccable retake, a couple of kills coming in left, right, and center. And you talk about that double on Miami and Ruben, the VIPs to that round.
Yeah, a really, really nice start from them. I think it kind of needed their big names to step forward. I think Miami is one of those ones who, in previous encounters with this Never Say Never side, he has been one of the standout players. I think he really does make a difference. Same can be said for Aristo as well, who was, you know, he picked up a kill. So at the very least, he's just got kind of that notch on the board. For NZT, it was a good start with the plant coming down. They kind of somewhat secured the site, but that post plant was lacking. It was not deep enough, and they got punished for it. They gave too much on an entry, and that's what happens. Miami finds one more as well, as already this very inopportune buy for the T side just being put to rest pretty quickly. In towards Palace, damage dealt, and this should be a second on the board.
I'm very surprised that despite getting a bomb plant and a couple of kills, that they go for an eco here in the second. You know, the go-to is usually to take an investment, right? To dig deep into your pockets, SMGs,
Sure.
Galils, limited utility, maybe try and close the gap a little bit. But actually, NZT trying to play an economical game where they get the buy sooner, so they take Deagles in this round. Of course, Zingy maybe a bit too deep in his pockets as he's dropped to 1,650, and no kills to his name in this round means no added money other than the loss bonus should they have a second round taken away from them. Never say never though. M4s, MP9s, scouts, there's so much to work with, and so for NZT it's going to be very, very difficult for them to get their hands on this round, get a grasp of the A site maybe, as Miami sits in towards under Palace, risk as well towards CT. Smoke going to be dropped out, and well, straight away this is what NZT line of sight. Ace. Oh my good god, it's 2 with the Deagle, just like that. M4 has to go huge, but Ace gets another. It's a triple in the round, and it might just be the thing to turn the tide, because that's an impeccable third. Ruben, okay, sure, able to trade, and G7H to find another. On down to 1, 2 up, against 2, scout in a hand, tag up, not enough. Ruben's double to deny, but Asex, what a round from him.
Oh, that's brilliant. When you think what the buy that Team NZT had in this round, which, as we were kind of mentioning and talking about a little bit earlier, it was nothing, right? You know, a couple of upgraded pistols, very, very limited amount of utility. They peak dry in towards ramp, and Miami gets punished for that laboured spray. And the fact that Team NZT found a bomb plant and a good amount of kills with that sort of buy already starts to ever so slightly ring a couple of alarm bells going forward, doesn't it? I mean, that is very concerning for Never Say Never, and it shows that there's slight weaknesses and overextensions here and there that CT side could be punished upon. And you look over towards Miami now, with that labour spray in the M4A1S, he only has MP9, it's this round. And a nice, comfortable full buy for Team NZT. For them, full AKs, good amount of utility, they could test the waters here.
Yeah, this is a great opportunity for NZT to run away with this, right, and find themselves a really good chance. What on earth is that? He's just jumped right into A site, he's found 2 kills, risks trade, but it comes at a massive cost, and now Risk to go used up on shore. It's G7H to find the opener, and the M4A1Ss continue to pepper away. Risk, he's going to be finding another 1-1-1, God gone. Just like that, it's down to 1, 8 seconds to heroics in the last, but it's not meant to be here. NZT's picked their first buy, and it just does not go their way.
It needed something special, and Risk, that double in towards mid, that made the difference. That split coming on towards A was the real kind of problem looming for the CT side. That's a really comfortable take from them, just to kind of deny that pressure. Once they've cut off that rotation and cut off that split, it means that the A site is no longer that vulnerability that it kind of looked like it was posturing towards. And well, now, of course, for Team NZT, once again, another prime example of where that economy is in a a dicey spot. I'll get a pistols once again, trying to stick around that 2k mark. Zingy's maybe slightly overbought here, but how will the opening go? Not too well for the T side. Ruben kickstarts things brilliantly. It's been a very good start for him individually as well.
Yeah, 5-0. Yet to die. Finding all the headshots right now, it seems. NZT maybe a little bit desperate. What's going on? As well, a nice shot coming out. Left, right, and center. Wrist running one through the wall. Miami's got another one covered. And, well, Aristo looking for another. Won't quite find it. Deagler Zingy is there for one at least. But the potency of these rifles continuing to show as well. We head into round 5. It's another buy for NZT. Problem is, though, do you really, really expect this situation to get any better here for NZT so far? It has been a stellar performance from Never Say Never. And while we're eyeing up this matchup, you know, the bottom of the barrel situation, NZT, I think we expected for them to come out swinging a little more, and it's been a very slow start here on Mirage.
Yeah, it's really just not been the greatest of start in utility. Orb shot not going to quite connect for Risk, but at the very least, it's information gain. He knows that there's been a bit of a mid-take being garnered here. Miami can go aggressive over towards Ram, just kind of lock out that position, playing the way we do see Magic play every now and again, quite aggressive, information gathering, hunting for the opening kill. And, well, for Team NZT, they have to really start to go back to the drawing board to figure out where's the best plan of action. They've struggled over towards B, they've struggled in towards mid, and A hasn't really been that much better either, apart from kind of the individual brilliances. So, already looking like a bit of a tiresome T side.
Spam from middle to begin with Aristo to do something, but God has it covered. A nice kill through the edge of the smoke, probably saw the feet or the traces being the indicator for the opening frag. All of a sudden, this round gets a little harder and a little more difficult if they Never Say Never to win because of this connector control. So much pressure already. Never Say Never themselves down to 4. Miami is going to have to get a couple here. Risk fires off a shot, does not connect. Attention to Miami, and unfortunately there is no party in Miami because he's gone already. Risk Ruben, G7H, 3-on-1, shot, Risk gone, and finally the trade comes in, but a 2-on-4 scenario for Never Say Never, and NZT might have just found themselves a place on the board.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a safe call here. I mean, there's no need to kind of overextend at the same time. I don't think they're going to be able to find their way back in. This post point looking a lot more secure. They've kind of had that utility to cut off those rotations. And, well, with that being said, they are just going to take that step away. G7H going to potentially find one on the exit. They go over towards CT, which would be slightly risky if they do try and posture in that direction. Water's being tested, but it's just to pick up the AWP. And, well, that's that first round on the board. Team NZT kickstarting things and potentially could be a momentum shifter, right? They've got a bit more security in their long-term economy. They've now got a round on the board and an understanding of how the CT side play. And for Never Say Never, that's the first time we've seen them really being tested.
Yeah. Unreal. 4-1. NZT on the board. That's what we wanted to see. Kickstarting their campaign here on Mirage and in turn their series. And heading into round 6. Eyes on Never Say Never to see the response, to see the opportunity that they're going to have. Zingy, yeah, maybe overstaying his welcome in the molly. He'll take half health early on. So for NZT, slight disadvantages, but for Never Say Never, you know, the situation at hand here is the money. It's low already. 4 rounds in a row, they lose one single round, and just like that, we're in a scenario where should they lose by means of elimination, 4 players can't invest in the next.
I think that's the kind of the big problem with how we've been seeing that kind of sort of CT side, right? For Never Say Never, yeah, they've been finding success, but it's been expensive. Each and every time we see kind of even the pistols finding 2-3 kills when they really shouldn't, and that's where problems are going to start to arise long term for the side. Once again, utility coming out over towards the A side. Miami going to drop a smoke in close and personal. Just try and buy some time as much as he can. Pop flash over towards Tetris as he escapes over towards default. Just about fighting again. He's got to find himself one. Quick trade comes through, but they're flooding on towards the A side now. Risk has to play passive.
Well, Risk thinking about it. You could see the determination to find a kill, find an opportunity, but he's able to open things up very, very nicely from him. And of course, this retake a little harder from Never Say Never. However, they are getting it done. Aristo, he's able to trade at least. G7H getting clearance of jungle. That molly burning to her down as well. A nice shot from Asex and no trade. Slipping off the stairs. Some of these CTs need to pop up. G78, sure, good for one with a nade, but there's another man just gone. He's stepping away,
Wow.
can't find the transfer. He's got a kitten, so he has time. It's a 5th on the board for Never Say Never.
He played that so well as well. He had an understanding. It's either over towards Firebox or in towards back default. What he does oh so well, kind of sells the sound cue, couple of pop shots, jumping up on default. Never going to expect that. Never going to have the time to react as well. It would take a godlike shot to be able to find that player. And just like that, G7H closes things out, and that's a 5th round on the board. Back to that comfortable 4-round lead, but Never Say Never. And for Team NZT, once again, started to kind of feel that pressure. They go for their default of A. Yes, they get the site, but the post plant, again, their biggest thorn in their side, where they're not aggressive enough and give way too much room for Never Say Never to work with. And speaking of room, Ruben's found it in towards mid, and he finds the first.
A huge opportunity now. That 5-on-4, the early advantages. NZT starting to suffer again. The momentum killer maybe in the previous Miami. Up close. It's an easy kill for Husky, pushing in towards CT as well. Zingy picks up one with the AWP in the meantime, so keeping things competitive out towards A, and NZT running right through Never Say Never right now. To retake, it's another opportunity, but another massive question mark as this retake continues to go on. G7H, yeah, swinging in towards the double stack, conventional one in front of the bin. Ruben at least to trade those, so not all bad as Never Say Never, gearing up to the teeth, ready for this one. Problem is, low HP and a couple of these NZT players, so keeping this site will be difficult, but with only about 15 seconds on the bomb, and a move on, found one, eventually will fall, got to drop a volley on the bomb, Risk is going to burn in the flames, and it's the HE to finish the job. It's a 2nd on the board, and a great hold from NZT.
Yeah, it's a really nice use of utility as well, isn't it? Kind of the Molotov on the bomb, followed by a HE, just denies any sort of retake, even being a possibility. And the double stacking towards CT was so well played. It cut off the rotations, got the information of where the retake was coming from, and simultaneously allowed them to set up that post plant. Actually done 2nd round on the board, and this one already slightly posturing, right? Like it could be one of those longer maps, right? These two sides, they seem very evenly matched from what was a very one-sided start. Now it's just a front of it towards an empty B side, completely barren, no one to meet them there. 3 plants come through, and with just pistols to contest, I think for Never Say Never, not real much hope here.
Yeah, this is a prime opportunity for NZT to get that momentum we were talking about in the pre-game, right? In the pre-show, we were saying we really need to see both teams come out of the gate swinging, specifically for Never Say Never, because, you know, I think, you know, at a bookmaker's perspective, obviously, you know, when you look at the odds of it, it very much was in favour of the NZT party. And for them, with the slow start that they had, very, very concerning, right? And so for them, okay, sure, they went 5-1 down. Now they're starting to gain traction against the pistols. This is an easy 3rd on the board. It's to what extent are we going to see them build up this pace, build up this momentum? It's not time, right? G7H. A bit late on the peak, but you get the idea. They were just looking for the exit. CTs can't find much, not giving any economy to the T side either. However, NZT to close the gap down to 2. It's 5-3.
Yeah, well, as we stand, I mean, it's a much kind of better period from Team NZT. It still does at times look a little bit uncomfortable, right? I mean, some of these rounds are still looking like coin flips. Not the previous one, but of course they weren't coming against too much. But when we see a 4x4, Never Say Never, they do contest those so well. It's going down to kind of 1v1 situations, which is realistically that coin flip. And the way that Never Say Never are adapting to certain situations does already kind of ring slight alarm bells here and there, but we'll have to wait and see. Back over towards the B site, they're having a little look. Utility being expended over towards A, but no real committal play being made as of just yet, as Miami gonna drop a smoke in close. Just want to double away, but Ruben, Labour spray gets punished, doesn't matter. G7H good for 2, and that's the information on the bomb as well. They know that the commit over towards the B site, and the retake imminent.
That's big. Never Say Never now. Going to gear up for this retake. Get ready to put everything they can into this round. They cannot afford to give NZT another opportunity to run away with this map. Bomb scoops up into the hands of A6, and he'll be punching in the digits to set it down. Now that retake. Numbers game in favour of Never Say Never. The HP game, however, still very hot and up in the air. Well, seconds burning. Never Say Never. They can afford some of them. But there is no kit on that CT side. It's a 10-second stick. So for them, but the T side of NZT, they just need to hold on. It's Husky against 2, and he's good for 1 already. On the second, looking for 3, and he's got a hat-trick. It's an easy 4th on the board. of, well, never say never had the numbers game. NZT, they knew the conditioning was there. As soon as that bomb was set down, never say never, they had a 10-second stick to get moving too. And they just can't get it done. It's a 4th on the board, and a T side starting to gain traction.
Yeah, it's a really, once again, really nice post barn, isn't it? We kind of individually from Husky there. He doesn't overextend, doesn't overpeak. He just plays the confidence. And now, speaking of confidence, I think he knows he's not against too much of a buy. Swings way forward, gets for one, looking to make it 2, but actually overextends. Gets caught. While the likes of Arista are going to find himself 1 kill at the very least. Smoking towards front, Khan will just deny that rotation coming through. They went aggressive, nearly paid the price for it, but the difference in firepower just closing this one out. All down to one man is Risk, and he's comfortably cleaned up. This game tied all square, 5 apiece, and never say never, their brilliant start. It's looking like a troublesome finish this half.
So, tie game. That's where we're at right now, Neo. It's safe to say that this game is delivering on some level. It's a competitive one, but did we expect it to be? Never say never. A 5-1 start, straight out the gates. They were coming out swinging. Maybe not anticipating NZT to pick up the momentum, though. Play. Miami only good for 1. Risks trade at least. Aristo, we got on the back of the site. Again, taken down. God's got a kind of dive shot. And a follow-up shot for the Orb. It's a triple paradise for Risk, in fact, because he's got 4, locking out the site, shutting them down, and that's a 6 on the board for Never Say Never. What a response.
Wow. Sometimes it just needs an individual to step up and make the difference, and that's what we see by the Orpa. That is stunning from Risk. Good for the first, catching the flick is brilliant. Repositioning for the second, and then isolating that third. I mean, that is textbook Orping from the young man himself, and well, for Never Say Never, take that 1 round slim lead again, and Risk going to reposition over towards short, makes the jump oh so easily, and now he's got the hold in towards mid. Flash will catch him second time of asking. I'm going to play just a little bit more passive.
Just taking their time, Neo. That's all it is right now. Never say never, realizing heroics from Miami, or rather from Risk, putting them in a position where it was going to be a lot harder to be put in. So for them, they want to make sure that the next steps are careful. They aren't too audacious and bold with whatever they want. Instead, the more calculative approach. For now, silent. Slow attempts. No real damage done. I mean, sure, God's taken a bit of damage to, I can only guess, as a molly or a nade. It's a very slow burner of a round here. At the minute mark, NZT mid-control at least. Bomb has actually wiggled its way through towards short. And when there's only 1 player towards B, this 4A stack here from Never Say Never feels a bit premature, a bit rushed.
Agreed.
I'm not too sure if there was information picked up that maybe there was a few players throwing utility from A, but it is the B play. Rick's going to have to come up huge again, and a first kill on the board. Spots a second, but 2 has trade. This is going to be difficult now. Back of the site, the Orb, it needs to fight more. Risk going to get jiggled to one. Another leg shot. God's trade. And again, this Orb has just found success. Zingy good for 1 though. He's not done with this round just yet. 20 seconds left. Bomb in his pocket. But he's going to go aggressive. He's going for a fight. He's going for a duel. Aristo low AP. He's going to face into it. But he pulls out his knife. What is he doing? Why has he just done that? It's an easy pick up for Miami. And it's a 7th on the board for Never Say Never. Why did he pull out his knife there?
I think he may have got a bit overconfident that he could just fall away in time using the knife for a bit of a speed advantage, but he called that oh so wrong, and he's definitely just paid the price for it. I mean, that is brutal, and that's kind of the worst time for NZT as well, because they were really looking so strong before, right? I mean, they were controlling each and every round. They were kind of dictating their play style, and that's a real sort of kick in the teeth, isn't it? Kind of a punch in the gut round where you just feel a little bit kind of deflated off of that, and you can kind of see it now. Risk gonna find yet 1 more with the AWP, traded immediately though by AZX. At the very least, numbers kept level, and the AWP out of play, that gives them an opportunity.
Towards connector, Zingy. AK in hand. Minute and 15 to go. They really are trying to pull out the stops here. Miami aggressive on ramp, spotting the head of AZX. Good night, my friend. Aristo a follow-up as well. Never say never. Chew through the half-buy, or the force investment rather here for NZT. Sure, there's some money in the back pocket. This is not enough to keep the rifle though. Deagle will spot the arm. Nice shot from Tua. Picks up the Troubled waters though, laboured spam, G7H low, but not taken out, and he'll find the kill. It's an 8.5 guaranteed here for Never Say Never.
They'll take that at the least, right? I mean, what was looking like, as we already mentioned, that kind of middling part of this half was a struggle, wasn't it? I mean, the CT side wasn't quite good enough, and I think each and every player was quite isolated, and that's a polar opposite performance. The crossfire, immaculate, locking out the A site, and well, now into the penultimate round of the half. NZT, I mean, they got no buy, Ryan.
Yeah, it's gonna have to be the eco, right, for the last.
For sure.
No easy way about it. Wondering now if this is an opportunity where Never Say Never can find double digits. Find themselves an opportunity on the board. We'll have to wait and see. 1:25 on the clock. Fast play towards middle. Nade in from Ruben. That's going to do big damage. Look at the red in the bars of NZT. Husky gone. God tag down to 50. Tua as well, eating some shrapnel. It is a horrific situation now. There's 1:10 on the clock. No real chance, Miami. Oh my good God, the transfer's sticking it. It's a triple as well. Aristo's got his back covered. All down to he's low, he's gone. Miami will find his hat-trick. And it's a 9th on the board for Never Say Never. They are continuing to run away with this game.
They are. I mean, this is now starting to become a very kind of uncomfortable spot. I mean, double digits in the first half, which is a real possibility for Never Say Never, is not exactly where you want to be, right? Because one pistol round from Never Say Never on T side, and they can get alarmingly close to the all-elusive 16, which for NZT, on their map pick, I mean, that is not exactly where you want to be at all. So, quick pause to come through, and I'm assuming this is probably that attack pause coming in from the likes of NZT, because for them, it's a inopportune time and an inopportune buy as well, just to scout for Zingy.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. NZT going for a buy here. Very, very desperate to find this 6. If they allow double digits here for Never Say Never, this is a horrible situation to be in for the remainder of this game. And considering this is your map pick as well, of course, it's difficult times. We were talking about this being, you know, a fairly easy opportunity for NZT to keep their place in Challenger League with Never Say Never's form, but absolutely not. They are continuing to swing. 5-on-4 already established in this round. Never Say Never man advantage. It's Risk 4. Risk another. Miami finding kills. Aristo one more. God 1-on-4. It is not looking likely. It's not looking good here for NZT. And as we head into round 15, the plays are wrong. The chapter shut. It's 10-5. We head to a break. Can Never Say Never close this map out? We find out soon. A staggering first half leads NZT down by 5. Never say never. They've got a chance to close this first map out. NZT's pick as well. It's dangerous times. I'm Retro, joined by Neo, running you up through the action here in this second half. And it really is do or die now for NZT. A must-win pistol. And it starts with Ziggy getting mollied out. He sits in it for a minute. His feet are more than warm. And he's down to 40 points of health. Looking for an opportunity to strike. And that he has. And a follow-up shot as well. It's actually A-Sex to pinch it away. And A-Sex a double. It's looking good. It's looking strong. It's looking NZT for the pistol. Aristo in a 1-on-4. And his days are numbered. Closing the gap. Bodies are flying. But it is majoritively blue in the feed. And never say never, lose out on the pistol.
Yeah, poor start. I mean, in towards mid, that made the difference, didn't it? They tried to kind of force their way forward, but in towards short, they get pincered. And there's nothing to do, nowhere to escape as well. And one by one, they just get picked off. Then jumping out on towards B, no utility, they go try. And I mean, the CD side, realistically, just not tested. Comfortably done. And for never say never, what was a good end to that first half, it's a poor start to the second.
Nade in towards middle. NZT thinking about it on why they want to do what they're doing. The mid-play presence was looking good, but it's towards A they run. Aski looking for the opening opportunity, but it's Zingy to find the opener. A brilliant start for them. Bomb set down as well here for Never Say Never. Considering this is only Glocks in this round, they've done a very good job. And now it's just about the retake. How many casualties can they put up? It's a first at least. Miami finding one, but it might just only be one. At least Aristo good for another. But it's done, and it's NZT up to 7. But a bomb plant and a couple of kills, considering it's a full eco as well. This is a big opportunity for Never Say Never to put themselves back on the board.
Yeah, and it is. They're already starting to kind of slowly find those entries. A bomb plant with that sort of buy already does start to kind of give you, at the very least, a positive sign looking forward. Now, of course, we're going to have a nice, comfortable 4-buy. Could potentially even pick themselves up an AWP if they want to. It would be a little bit risky because it'd be kind of limited utility, but I don't think it's even too bad of a pickup. But at the moment, just go aggressive. Keep hold of what they've got and, yeah, use the AK-47s to kind of force their way forward. They've now figured out that the A site has some pretty distinct gaps, and they've already definitely tested the waters in towards mid. So far, so good.
And they look towards middle once more. Zingy getting the boost over the top. Smoke towards underpass as well to deny the tease of any sight. What's happening? Boost won't find anything though. Passive play towards middle. Never say never, taking their time. For NZT, they kept basically all their weapons. 4 M4s, 1 FAMAS. Problem is, their money, should they lose against the full buy here of Never Say Never, it's back to square one.
It is. And this is where kind of it's very easy to get stuck in that, a brutal cycle, right? Where it's kind of full buy-in, lose the round, double eco, and then rinse and repeat. And this is kind of where currently Never Say Never do posture. Now, got like a bit of a stack in towards mid. That crossfire set up. Singing and be caught off guard by it, though. Ruben good for the first. G7A trying to find one of his own, but he overextends, and Husky will trade.
That 4-on-4, it's going to be promising. And it depends if NZT can run away with it. A big dink, Aristo. Just eating lead to the head. And, well, for the remaining Never Say Never players, it's desperation starting to settle in once more. Utility at a minimum. We've got a single smoke on risk. That's going to be burnt out towards A. In fact, is a deep jungle smoke. And so they are faking a bit of a split. They do have one player of Ruben in mid, but it doesn't matter because A hasn't even been claimed. Ruben's trade at least. Risk out of the round from ramp. Aristo low HP, so Ruben needs to be the man of the hour. Can he be? And it's a nice shot and a double from Aristo. Spamming away. A-Sex tag low. He's in the smoke and he's gone down. Never Say Never with an 11th. What a turnaround.
And by the skin of their teeth as well. I mean, that is one of those rounds that kind of the way it started over towards the A site, when they went for that pot, pushing through ramp, and both times, both players not clearing the angles properly and just being caught in the open, right? It looked like a terrible execute by Never Say Never, but an individual turns the tide, and that's what they needed. Ruben up to 14 with double just to finish off that round. It was uncomfortable. Now you look over towards NZT, a quick pause being called by them because, well, as you can tell, that economy not looking too fruitful. It's going to be just an eco for them. Try and stick around that 2K mark for those of who have a little bit of an economy to work with. But yeah, I mean, it's a very uncomfortable situation. Can Never Say Never, realistically, should pick up 12th here. And it was NZT with, really, potentially 2 more buys left, if that.
Yeah. It's difficult, right? They're really in troubled water, and considering, as we said earlier, this is their map hit, Mirage is you know, their veto in this BO3, you would not be expecting Never Say Never to be in such a comfortable position. We talk about the promise that they have here. Smoke towards middle. It's a Deagle force buy in this round. They are playing with nothing to lose now here. It's NZT side. For now, 1:30 to go in this round. Deagles across the board. Yet to really find any damage. And Zingy already burning from the flames in connector. Slight advantages already with the weapon choice, but now even more so in the HP department. Zingy, his best attempt to go aggressive and get the added info and maybe the opening frag, but it backfires. Risk to find the opener, and he ducks under God's crosshair. He will not know Risk is out, and especially if he comes from a different location, this is perfect. Molly goes in towards under. He's going to know the position. His compromise, though. ASCII good for one. God will retaliate with another. But Aristo alongside Ruben. They continue to fire away as it's just down to Asex. A 1-on-3 scenario. Deagle spam in, but it will not find anything. It is Never Say Never up to 12.
Yeah, I mean, you know, a couple of kills, they'll take it with, as it was, just a Deagle force buy, but it's not good enough, is it? Over towards the A site, just allowing the T side to walk out, and uncontested as well. I mean, they just push their way out towards Sandwich, get a lot of that control towards the A site, and get a good understanding of kind of where those rotations are coming from. And, well, unfortunately, kind of that lacking firepower wasn't able to close things out. And once again, that second bar with double eco, forcing in towards the Eagles, are only kind of 1.6k. I mean, it's paying the price for it now. As you look, it's most likely should be a 13th on the board, right? And this could close in a matter of seconds, this map.
Yeah. 4 rounds away, and this is an eco. You know, this is a big opportunity for Never Say Never. Bag that map 1 and put themselves in an incredibly comfortable position for the rest of this series. Zingy has got a flank, and I'm wondering, is this going to work out? He's got a Zeus in his hands. Never Say Never. What's just happened? Missed shots. Oh, Zingy! He's fluffed his lines completely. G7H will find a double, and it's God's AK alongside ASCII's Deagle, and the AK's gone. It's down to ASCII. It's down to the Deagle, and he can't cough up anything either. What a blunder from Apartments, but even more so, that was NZT's chance to find some success on the CT side, and it's all been thrown back in their face.
That was the lifeline, right? On an eco buy, they're able to just find that slight bit more of a success. I mean, that could have turned the tides in terms of momentum, and now it's looking very, very dire. I mean, Never Say Never need 3 rounds to close out this map, and NZT are 6 rounds behind. I mean, it's not exactly the place that they want to be. We see a full buy coming out. Zingy's going to pick himself up an AWP, but again, you know, failure to convert here, and they're going to be in for a very troublesome last few rounds, but Never Say Never knocking on the door of 16.
And that map absolutely could be secured. This buy is it for NZT. Days are numbered should they lose. You can only expect the worst in a situation like this, Neil. What are the chances that a comeback can happen? What are the chances?
Slim, mate. Slim.
Yeah, that they can even find some success, you know, get it to double digits. It really is light at the end of the tunnel. And well, Tua, he's going to be able to find one to stand the ground. Ruben will fall. G7H actually goes down as well. So the double up here. NZT in a pretty formidable situation themselves, but a 3-on-4. Never Say Never, not out just yet, as their name suggests. They're not done right now. Nice shot coming in. God, just finding a double, and just like that, it's Risk against 3. Done and dusted. They do find a bit of a chance. It's an 8th on the board. Never Say Never. They lose out once more, but they've got money. They can reinvest.
Yeah, I mean, that round was a necessity, right? Failure to convert that, and then more or less it's kind of cannon fodder rounds till Never Say Never pick up their opponent's map pick, but now at the very least, there's that opportunity just to kind of give them some security going forward, extend that lifeline as we've kind of already spoken about, and potentially be able to get back in towards this game. But I still think it's a long road to success. I think that retake, you know, it's not even the retake, it's also the resurgence, may I say, is not impossible, but it's improbable. I mean, things aren't looking too comfortable, and where NZT do find success, it's sporadic, you know, not consecutive, and of course on top of that, expensive. I mean, they're losing kind of 2-3 players per round as a kind of guaranteed. It's not exactly where they want to be. Heading to round number 22, though, full by both ways. But what you can say is both sets of economies not looking stable in the long term. There's that glass floor that we like to speak about where, you know, failure to convert here, and they guaranteed an eco.
Yes, it is difficult. It is difficult. Light at the end of the tunnel, though, here. 5 behind NZT. The comeback has to be on. basically has to start now. That's the feeling of it. NZT aggressive towards middle. A double up towards connector at the beginning of this round. Very chill though, Neo. Very, very slow here from Never Say Never. They want to make sure the opportunity they take here is the best one they have.
Question is, though, what can they do with it? I mean, this is an opportunity for NZT to be able to get back into this game, and of course, an opportunity for Never Say Never to give themselves a massive advantage going in towards Vertigo. This is it. This is that round that's arguably the most important one we've seen this entire game so far. Both of these two sides, their long-term economy dwindling, and win this one, they could give them that big period of success. And for Never Say Never, that could be enough to close out the map.
It absolutely can be. Well, pressure towards B amalgamates to a first. Never Say Never. A scenario where they are advantageous. Aristo goes down. Ruben with one. Risk another. We talk about his AWPing abilities. And it comes up huge again. A 3-on-2 scenario. The retake for NZT. And it has to be a good one. And with G7H already finding the first, it's down to God. His days are numbered. He knows the outcome. And there is no chance he wins this round. It's a save. And it's 14 on the board for Never Say Never.
Yeah, they have to. I mean, God can't afford to go and try and risk that AK-47 in a 1 versus 3. And again, it comes down to the individuals stepping up. Ruben with that double, but it's risk AWP that finds the important kill. Drops that bench player. That was kind of the last remaining pillar for NZT in terms of denying that plant. And, well, when Ace-X falls, so do NZT. And that's being said, it's a 14th on the board. You look over towards the CT side, and as we mentioned, that economy is brutal. A hero AK-47 is more or less the most they can pick up. And I think essentially now, for NZT to have a shot, a chance at finding their own map pick, they have to play for overtime. Essentially give up a 15th here with that hero AK and then just, unfortunately, try and do the long slog to tie this game back up.
And as I said earlier, before they even lost the previous buy, what are the chances that happens, Neo? You know,
It's slim.
The outcomes here are so minimal and mostly in favor of Never Say Never. Desperation, more than just settling in now. This is it. They've got to make that long slog of a comeback, as you said. And while Risk already finding the opener does damn the odds that little bit more. This round continues to dwindle away as well. Seconds pass, a nice opportunity taken up quite nicely here as G7H will find one. And the AKs continue into battle and find success. NZT running away with it, Neo. Feels very much done and dusted here. This feels like it's going to be another on the board.
Yeah, you know, it's one of those situations. The second a hero AK falls, that's it, isn't it? I mean, there's really nothing you can expect from the remaining CTs. Yes, Deagle's in play, but to think that the Eagles were going to have that chance against a full host of utility, more importantly, and then, of course, the rifles, it's not going to happen. Well, now 15th collected, and I think, as you mentioned, this might be done.
It feels it. It definitely feels it. 15 on the board. 7 in a row or go bust for NZT. That's the climate that they've indulged themselves in. As in it is merely 1 round away here for Never Say Never to pick up their opposition map pick of Mirage. Bomb will detonate. Never Say Never. 15 map point. And the USP of Husky can't even find one on the exit. So it is all down to this to see if Vertigo could be the stomping round for Never Say Never. Can NZT put up any numbers? There is a pause coming in before we begin this round. You can only guess it's NZT yelping for help here because they themselves a very tricky scenario. And financially, they're not set for this round either. There's a FAMAS. The utility is quite minimal as well. Just isn't a good position to be in around the board. So Never Say Never, man. A definitive game one. And we were saying in the pre-game this is going to be an NZT sweep. It might still be a sweep, but we went in the complete wrong direction in this matchup because Never Say Never, they have come out the gate swinging, and we talk about the momentum game. They played it to perfection.
I mean, they've really done a good job of getting a hold of the momentum and then just keeping it. It was a poor start this half, right? I mean, the pistol round really wasn't good enough, but it's once they picked up the full rifles, the full buy coming out, that they made it look oh so confident. And I mean, you've got to give the credit where the credit's due. It's been a solid performance. Already a laboured spray, but a solid start in towards what could potentially be the final round. Husky trying to go aggressive. Nice pop flash from him to find one. The P250 being brought out by Rick. He's going to go for one himself, but now the A site's open. Ryan, this could be it.
A 3-on-2 to keep the dreams of NZT alive. Ace-X and 2 up. They've got everything to do in this round. Bomb still needs to be retrieved from ramp. And it will be done so by G7H. He'll be the carrier to give that 40-second warning to the end of the game for NZT. Nice little bit of utility to smoke towards connector. Will force Asex forward towards stairs. That bomb actually hasn't made its way forward. That flash, however, I thought it was going to create space. The nade doing good damage. Ooh. And a nice shot. Down to one, down to two. He's got everything on his plate. And unfortunately, I don't think he'll be able to finish his food. It's done. It's dusted. It's never say never, Matt.